Thank you all for coming and welcome. My name is Matt Giese, Village Administrator in Cottage Grove. We are absolutely thrilled to have a brand as recognizable as STIHL to choose Cottage Grove as one of their homes. And we are looking forward to a long continued partnership. With that, I have some people from STIHL I'd like to thank. Murray Bishop. Murray is the manager of export and logistics. Murray was the main point of contact with staff during the development process. Roger Phelps and Sheila Elzy, they planned this groundbreaking event, so good job on their part coordinating this whole event today. Ian Hunt is a sales technician representative with STIHL. Nick Giannis, VP of Sales and Marketing, and Joe Hickey. Joe is a branch manager, and he'll be moving here and being the branch manager at the site location here. With that, I'm pleased to introduce Brett Newcomb of Newcomb Construction. Brett's company will be the general contractor on site here. So with that, Brett.
Thanks, Matt. Good job. Well, I have to say, this is one of the coolest groundbreakings I've been to. My wife Rachel already said she wants one of the cool leaf blowers for Mother's Day. So, Ian, can I keep one? Okay, thank you. Yesterday I was out here and the wind was blowing like 20 miles an hour. I had my heavy parka on. I saw snow, and it occurred to me that STIHL didn't select our location because of our predictable weather. So, thank you everybody for coming out today. Real quickly about the building. What you see going on back here is just the start. By the time Oktoberfest rolls around, it's a German company, so Oktoberfest is the important time. You'll see a 65,000 square foot building standing here, constructed using insulated concrete tilt-up wall panels, which are about 30% more energy efficient than metal. The roof system that they're putting on is a roof that's 20% more insulation than a standard roof. It has 100% LED lights. LED is the new technology, which is about 60% more energy efficient than fluorescent. And they're going to have a lot of natural light in the warehouse for their employees and for their offices and for their office staff. So it's just going to be a fantastic facility. And what's really impressive is that a company the size of STIHL, huge company, they have an international brand, as you know. I've been to their Virginia Beach headquarters, which is 2 million square feet. And as big as they are intimate in this project. And I'm not kidding. We have a conversation weekly with their guys at corporate to talk about the project. Their director of sales and marketing has flown out today from Virginia Beach. They take this very, very seriously, and they're very, very proud of this facility. And we've heard rumors that when they open the doors in October, Mr. STIHL himself is going to be flying over from Germany. So they're very serious about this. We all want to do a great job. We've committed our company to hitting a home run for them, and we want to do a great job for them. And we're very proud that they're here in our community. So thank you guys for coming out. And with that, I want to introduce Vice President of Sales and Marketing from STIHL, Nick Giannis.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate it. Well, yeah, I flew in yesterday, and I can tell you that spending most of my life south of the Mason-Dixon line, my skin's a little thin, so I'm not used to this wind up here in Wisconsin. But real pleasure to be here, and thank you, Brett, for those kind words. I want to acknowledge a few people from my side as well, the entire village board as a whole, including Matt Giese, village administrator, Aaron Ruth, director of planning and development, Lee Boucher, who I don't think is here today, village attorney, and Mike Maloney, village engineer, and of course Brett from Newcomb Construction. And then obviously last but not least, the folks, the broker for the Commerce Park, Rudabush, particularly Kyle Adams, Tom Phillips, and Jeff Rudabush. So thanks for being here. Some of you may know that STIHL is a family-owned business. We are currently in our third generation of family ownership and leadership with Dr. Nicholas STIHL at the helm. Dr. STIHL succeeded his father, Hans Peter STIHL, as chairman of the supervisory board of the STIHL Group back in 2012. And STIHL was founded in 1926 by Andreas STIHL, who invented the world's first electric chainsaw. Andrea Steel's goal was to try and improve the working conditions for those folks who made a living in the woods. The result, development of superior chainsaws, more importantly, backed by service. In the early 50s, founder Andrea Steele started selling his chainsaws in the US. While the Stihl brand is synonymous with chainsaws, over the years the company has diversified itself to become a major force in both consumer and professional lawn and garden and landscaping equipment, as well as in the professional construction sector. By 1973, the US market had grown and was considered the most attractive in the world. To meet demand, the Stihl Incorporated manufacturing facility in Virginia Beach was founded. From 50 people in a 20,000 square foot rented facility assembling one model of chainsaw, we have grown to over 2,000 people in over 1 million square foot under roof, manufacturing over 270 model variations of handheld outdoor power equipment. The current facility just celebrated its 40th anniversary last October, and I can tell you that was one heck of an Oktoberfest party. And for 6 years running now, we have been the #1 selling brand of gasoline-powered handheld outdoor power equipment in America. And we've achieved this milestone not by selling to the mass merchants or over the internet, but rather by sticking to our core principle of only going to market through servicing dealers. Supporting our dealers so that they in turn can support the customer is absolutely essential to our business. To do this, we rely on a world-class distribution network that provides Stihl servicing retailers with the product, spare parts, technical support, and training to run their business. As the Stihl brand continues to grow, our infrastructure needs to keep pace. That is why I'm very pleased to be here today breaking ground on this new facility in Cottage Grove. So at this time, I want to introduce Joe Hickey to the podium. Joe is the current branch manager at Mississippi Valley Steel in Peoria, Illinois, and will relocate here to run the new and renamed Midwest Steel here in Cottage Grove. Ladies and gents, Joe Hickey.
All right, thank you, Nick. I just want to say that I'm very pleased to be here really on a couple different levels. First of all, professionally, it's exciting to build and grow a new branch, bring on some new territory, but also personally as well. It's nice to be back in the state. I grew up in Milwaukee. I went to the University of Wisconsin where I got my undergrad and graduate degree in business. Met my wife here as well. And it's kind of unusual in today's business world to actually be transferred back to your home state. So we're really excited about coming here to Madison and Cottage Grove. And I just wanted to spend a few minutes telling you a little bit about the new Midwest Steel, and then also about the decision to come here to Cottage Grove for our new branch office. Nick had mentioned that our distribution philosophy is very important on how we go to market. Stihl has 12 branches and distributors located throughout the United States. 6 are company-owned, 6 are independent. And the branch that I am in is located in Peoria, Illinois. We cover the dealers in Iowa and northern Illinois. And the dealers here in Wisconsin are covered out of office in Hayward, Wisconsin. And they not only service Wisconsin, but Minnesota and UP. Dick Feaster was the owner, an independent owner. He has decided to retire. He sold his branch to Stihl, and then our branch is going to assume the territories, his territory. So that's kind of, why we're here. And one thing I do want to comment on is that although we are closing the offices in Peoria and Hayward, every single employee in those 2 offices were offered a job here in Cottage Grove or in Virginia Beach. Now, of course, not everyone can make it because of personal reasons, but I think it's just an example of really the philosophy of the Stihl family, how they're very loyal to their employees, loyal to the customers, and it's certainly been a great place to work. I think another thing that's very unique about Stihl is our distribution center, the way we go to market. To be a Stihl dealer, you have to have service in your location. You have to have trained sales consultants. You have to have a trained technician so that when a customer comes in, can answer questions intelligently, and you can come back to your selling location to get the product serviced. And that's one of the reasons that we are coming to build here, and that we have 12 branches and distributors, because one of the functions of the branch office, of course, is warehousing our parts and product. And because of where we are, we can get if a dealer puts an order in by 1 o'clock, we will ship it that day, and we'll get them the product the next day or the part. And that's very important if we have, say, a professional landscaper that needs something the next day, or let's say they have a unit that needs repair, the dealer doesn't have a part in stock, we'll get it to them the next day. So that is one of our big functions in the branch offices. Of course, in addition to that, we have sales staff. We'll have about 15 people in the field that live in their territories, that provide sales training, provide service training. Another function of the branch office is that we'll have 2 technicians on staff, that if a dealer has any problems, say fixing a unit, they can call, they can get technical support immediately from us. Also, of course, we do sales and marketing programs to make sure our dealers are competitive in the field, and also a lot of territory analysis and that sort of thing. So that's kind of what's going to go on here at our branch office. Now, a little bit about the new branch. I had mentioned that we're going to cover Iowa, Northern Illinois, Minnesota, the UP, Minnesota, and we're also going to pick up the Dakotas as well, North and South Dakota. So out of our office, we'll have about 44 people employed, about 25 will be here in Cottage Grove. We're going to service 750 dealers with 1,100 locations. Some of our guys have multiple locations. And we really are a B2B operation, business to business. This is not going to be a retail outlet. You can't come here to buy steel. You have to go through our servicing dealer. We're certainly very excited about the new building and the new branch. Not only can we kind of build our branch the way we wanted to, we've been able to add a few positions that we feel we can better service our dealers. But we're also very excited about the building as well. It's really going to help us drive a lot of efficiencies. For example, the building I'm in right now, when we're very busy, we're very, very crowded in our aisles. We're going to actually have enough room to properly stock and store things. I mentioned our dock doors. Right now I've got 3 dock doors. We're going to have 9 in our new building. Now, I can't believe I'm up here excited about dock doors. I never would have imagined that. But we're going to be able to receive and ship much more efficiently. The way our parts are going to be laid out with our new conveyor system, going to make it a lot faster and easier for us to service our dealers. So these are definitely some things that we're really looking forward to here in the new location. A little bit about the building. Brett had mentioned 65,000 square feet. We'll have 58,000 in the warehouse, about 7,500 in our offices. And really the timeline is, obviously we started to break ground a couple weeks ago. The building is scheduled to be completed toward the end of September, and Brett, we're going to hold you to that, so he's shaking his head. And no pressure at all. And then in October we'll start moving in the racking and the furniture, and we are scheduled to start shipping November 1st. And what we're going to do is November 1st, we're going to start shipping to our present dealers in Iowa and Illinois. Starting January 1, we'll start shipping to the Dakota dealers, and then February 1, we'll ship to the dealers here in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and the UP. So it's kind of a walk before you run, which is actually going to be nice. We'll be able to get the warehouse operating, and then as we ramp up the volume, we'll be ready to go February 1. So now, I guess the last thing I wanted to touch base on is why we chose Cottage Grove. I had mentioned earlier that one-day shipping is very, very important to our business model. Had we stayed in Peoria and tried to service this new territory, probably only about 35% of our dealers would have had access to one-day shipping, just because of the distances, say, to northern Minnesota, etc. Had we stayed in Hayward, the percentage would be about the same. But by moving to the general Madison area, about 90% of our dealers or more will have one-day shipping. So the vast majority of our dealers will be able to ship the next day. Well then, so that's kind of how we decided on the general Madison area. But then, why did we choose Cottage Grove? And there's really a number of reasons. You know, first of all, we looked at 5 or 6 sites within this area. Matter of fact, a couple of the business sites were within a couple blocks of a UPS hub, which certainly on the surface would make sense. Certainly there's some areas up by the airport, which that would make sense as well. But a couple things we really liked about Cottage Grove. First of all, access to the highway, trucks in and out. It's a very nice sized business park. Would be good for the trucks coming. But probably the most important thing was really the interaction that we had with the city council in the village of Cottage Grove. They just bent over backwards. They let us know that they wanted our business, worked with us very, very closely. And I tell you, that was really the linchpin of why we chose Cottage Grove. So I want to thank the board and the village for all you've done with us to get us here. And we're really looking forward to a long-term relationship here in Cottage Grove. So now, I guess why don't we kind of get to why we're here, really for the groundbreaking. Now, most companies, when they do a groundbreaking, have a gold shovel. Well, of course, we're an outdoor power equipment company, and we actually produce some products to dig in the ground. So we're going to choose to do that as opposed to a gold shovel. So we have a couple pieces of equipment. These are BT45s. They're a planting auger. They're really used for planting bulbs or small flowers. A lot of professionals and some homeowners use them as well. And then we have our BT130, which is really more for larger bushes and post holes and that sort of thing. So I had called Nick and the finance guys and asked them if we could get a gold-plated auger. The finance guys didn't like that one. They didn't give us the budget, so we'll just use our normal auger. So at this point, why don't we go on to the groundbreaking ceremony? And Brett, since you're our construction guy, we're going to give him the BT130. He gets to operate the big one.